Well, many people haven't yet heard of the recovery movement in mental health, and which actually kind of shocks me, to be honest, since I've put the last 25 years of my life into this and have talked to probably 100,000 people during that time. But there is resistance to the belief that people can recover, and some of it's very deep-seated within the mental health world, within psychiatry, especially recovery from schizophrenia, which I was diagnosed with. The belief originally was that people never recover, and it's still kind of deep-seated, that belief that people don't recover. But in fact, the evidence is very good that people do recover. And there are long-term studies that were done in New Hampshire, in Vermont by Courtney Harding, and she showed that 65% of people who were diagnosed with schizophrenia on an average of 5 years in a state hospital showed significant and complete recovery. And by recovery, what do we mean? We don't mean cure, but then we don't feel that there's a classic illness either. We feel that there are different ways that people relate and different ways that people have blocks in their development. And that trauma is a big part of that. In my own case, I feel that trauma played a very large role in my going into psychosis. And I really went into psychosis to try to rearrange the internal state of myself. And that recovery is more about development emotionally, and being able to form deep, meaningful, intimate relationships, and being able to find meaningful work. And after all, Freud said, the sign of health is love and work. He was very close there on that. And we use now the term recover your humanity. And this helps in cross-disability work, which we're doing more and more of. The people with other disabilities use wheelchairs or blind or deaf. They don't like the word recovery, and they feel that it separates them from us. We're building bridges with that movement nationally by pointing out that we're not saying that it's cure, we're saying recover your life.
So you do believe that anyone with a mental illness can have some level of recovery?
Yes. Significant, if not complete recovery. I think if people especially are reached early enough, not by medication, I'm a little worried about this early medication usage. In fact, reached more in the way they are in Finland, where they minimize use of medication. When somebody first has their severe upset that results in a person going in their own world, they call that going into monologue. And there's a breakdown in dialogue, they feel, between the person and the significant people around. Within 24 hours, they convene a group of all the people that are most significant in a person's life. And by reestablishing dialogue, by multiple meetings, sometimes over a year or 2 years period, they've had no new cases of long-term schizophrenia in West Lapland that had the highest percentage prior to that. So, yes, that and the World Health Organization studies that showed that in developing countries, less industrialized countries, the recovery rate is much higher than it is in industrialized countries, and they use much less medication than we do. But they have a cohesive community. Anybody that's traveled in Mexico or Brazil knows that they have something that we're missing, which is a sense of caring, a sense of interest, a sense of... My daughter's in Brazil, and I just reminded her, I said, isn't it that they take more interest in people? We just don't take enough interest in each other. And that is the best way to prevent severe psychiatric problems, is people caring for people. And we've developed a program, by the way, called Emotional CPR. And we think that by teaching the general public how to help other people through emotional difficulties, this will transform the whole society. And everyone will be able to help everyone with their recovery.